Welcome back to my channel Only Bio. Presenting up the NEET 2020 paper, the MCQs being solved from question number 41 to 50 with detailed explanation. The first question here relates with the chapter photosynthesis, and the question is: the oxygenation activity of Rubisco enzyme in respiration leads to the formation of dash, and the options are A, 1 molecule of 3 carbon compound, B, 1 molecule of 6 carbon compound, C, 1 molecule of 4 carbon compound and 1 molecule of 2 carbon compound, and D, 2 molecules of 3 carbon compound. And the correct answer is A, that is 1 molecule of 3 carbon compound. Look on the screen to understand photorespiration. Photorespiration is also known as oxidative photosynthetic carbon cycle or C2 photosynthesis, which refers to a process in plant metabolism where the enzyme Rubisco oxygenates RUBP, wasting some of the energy produced by photosynthesis. The desired reaction is the addition of carbon dioxide to RUBP, that is carboxylation, which is a key step in the Calvin-Benson cycle, but approximately 25% of reactions by Rubisco, instead of adding oxygen to RUBP, that is oxygenation, create a product that cannot be used within the Calvin-Benson cycle. And this process reduces the efficiency of photosynthesis, potentially reducing the photosynthetic output by 25% in C3 plants. So it's a wasteful process because 3-phosphoglycerate, that is the 3 carbon compound, which is created at a reduced rate and higher metabolic cost compared with RUBP carboxylase activity. The next question relates with the chapter classification of animals, and the question is: which of the following statements are true for the phylum Chordata? A. In Urochordata, notochord extends from the head to the tail and it is present throughout their life. B. In Vertebrata, notochord is present during the embryonic period only. C. Central nervous system is dorsal and hollow. D. Chordata is divided into 3 subphyla: Hemichordata, Tunicata and Cephalochordata. And the options given are: first C and A, second A and B, third B and C, fourth D and C. And the correct answer is third, that is B and C are true. Friends, remember, a tunicate is a marine invertebrate animal, a member of the subphylum Tunicata. It is a part of the Chordata phylum that includes all animals with dorsal nerve cords and notochords. The subphylum was earlier called as Urochordata, and the term Urochordates is still sometimes used. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये term बिल्कुल use नहीं होता. They are the only chordates that have lost their myomeric segmentation, and with the possible exception of the seriation of the gill slits. Like other chordates, they have a notochord during their early development, but it is lost by the time they complete their metamorphosis. This is the reason why the first statement is false. Now the second one, or rather let us come to the correct statement, that is the fourth one first, because second it is very much clear that it is a true statement, right? Now chordates, the false statement I'm trying to tell you, chordata, these are divided into 3 subphyla, which are Vertebrata, Tunicata or Urochordata and Cephalochordata. So this is a wrong statement. The next question relates with the chapter Microbes in Human Welfare, and it includes match the following, with column 1 having Clostridium botulicum, Trichoderma polysporum, Monascus purpureus and Aspergillus niger as A, B, C, D. And 1, 2, 3, 4 we have options like cyclosporin A, butyric acid, citric acid and blood cholesterol lowering agents. And these are all the options given, and the correct answer is 1. That is, Clostridium botulicum can be related with the butyric acid, Trichoderma polysporum with cyclosporin A. Monascus purpureus with blood cholesterol lowering agent, and Aspergillus niger with citric acid. Now, Clostridium acetobutylicum, it's a commercially valuable bacterium. And remember, it is also called as Weizmann's organism after the Jewish Russian born Weizmann used them for the first time, you can say. The method has been described as ABE process, acetone, butanol, ethanol fermentation process. Now, cyclosporin A is produced by the fungi Trichoderma polysporum, and it is an immunosuppressant prescribed in organ transplants to prevent rejection. Now, C, that is Monascus purpureus, is a yeast which is commercially used in the production of blood cholesterol lowering statins. It is a fungus most important because of its use in the form of red yeast rice in the production of fermented food in China as well. Now, the fourth option, that is the Aspergillus niger, is cultured for the industrial production of many substances. Various strains of Aspergillus niger are used in the industrial preparation of citric acid and gluconic acid and have been assessed as acceptable for daily intake by the World Health Organization as well. Now, the next question relates with the kingdom Plantae. Which of the following pairs is of unicellular algae? A. Gelidium and Gracilaria. B. Annabella and Volvox. C. Chlorella and Spirulina. D. Laminaria and Sargassum. And the correct answer is B, that is Annabella and Volvox. Friends, in the option A, we find Gelidium. It is a genus of thalloid red algae, which is not unicellular. No agar-bearing red seaweeds. There are two genera, Gelidia and Gracilaria, which account for most of the raw materials that are used for the extraction of agar. So, first option is ruled out. Gracilaria is a genus of red algae itself. Okay, it is noted for its economic importance as an agarophyte, and it is used as a food for humans and various species of shellfish as well. Now, the option B, Annabella, is a genus of filamentous cyanobacteria that exist as planktons, and they are known for nitrogen fixing abilities, and they form symbiotic relationships with certain plants such as the mosquito fern. Volvox is a chlorophyte or green alga. It exists as a grand spherical colony, and each little alga within the colony bears two flagellar whip-like heads. Something notable about it. Now, Chlorella, it is a genus of single-celled green algae belonging to Chlorophyta. Okay, it contains the green photosynthetic pigments chlorophyll A and B. And Spirulina is a biomass of cyanobacteria that can be consumed by human human beings as well as animals. Okay. The Laminaria is a genus of brown algae which is commonly called as kelp, and it is also at times called as the tangle. Okay, which is very long and relatively larger in size. And Sargassum is once again a genus of brown algae. Now, the next question relates with the chapter photosynthesis, and the question is, in light reaction, plastoquinone facilitates the transfer of electrons from dash A. Cytochrome B6F complex to PS1, B. PS1 to NADP plus, C. PS1 to ATP synthase, D. PS2 to cytochrome B6F complex. And the correct answer is D. The role that plastoquinone plays in photosynthesis, more specifically in the light-dependent reactions of photosynthesis, is that of a mobile electron carrier through the membrane of the thylakoid. The plastoquinone is reduced when it accepts two electrons from photosystem 2 and two hydrogen cations, that is H plus, from the stroma of the chloroplast, thereby forming plastoquinol, and this transfers the electrons further down the electron transport chain to plastocyanin, a mobile water-soluble electron carrier through the cytochrome B6F protein complex. Now, the cytochrome B6F protein complex catalyzes the electron transfer between plastoquinone and plastocyanin, but it also transports the two protons into the lumen of the thylakoid discs. So, that's the right answer. The next question can be related with both the chapters hormonal as well as excretion, and the question is presence of which of the following conditions in urine are indicative of diabetes mellitus? A. Uremia and renal calculi. B. Ketonuria and glycosuria. C. Renal calculi and hyperglycemia. And D. Uremia and ketonuria. And the correct answer is B. Ketonuria and glycosuria. Friends, in the option A, we have uremia, which is a condition involving abnormally high levels of urea in the blood. Uremia is a dangerous condition because it occurs when the kidneys are no longer filtering the blood properly. It's likely to occur when a person is in the final stage of chronic kidney disease. Now, the A option also has renal calculi, which are nothing but kidney stones, also called as nephrolithiasis or urolithiasis, which are hard deposits made of minerals and salts that form inside our kidneys. Kidney stones can affect any part of the urinary tract from our kidneys to our bladder, and often stones from when the urine become concentrated. They form the concentrated forms, allowing the minerals to crystallize and stick together. Now, ketonuria is a medical condition in which ketone bodies are present in the urine. It is seen in the conditions in which the body produces excess ketones as an indication that it is using an alternative source of energy, generally seen during starvation or commonly in type 1 diabetes mellitus. Glycosuria is a term that defines the presence of reducing sugars in the urine, such as glucose, galactose, lactose, fructose, etc. So, glucosuria, it connotes the presence of glucose in the urine and is the most frequent type of glycosuria. Glycosuria is nearly always caused by elevated blood glucose levels, most commonly due to untreated diabetes mellitus. Rarely, glycosuria is due to intrinsic problem. Okay, and hyperglycemia, it occurs when people with diabetes have too much sugar in the bloodstream. Hyperglycemia should not be confused with hypoglycemia, which is when blood sugar levels go down. The next question relates with the chapter morphology of plants, and the question is secondary metabolites such as nicotine, strychnine and caffeine are produced by plants for their dash. A. Growth response. B. Defense action. C. Effect on reproduction. And D. Nutritive value. And the correct answer is B. Defense action. Secondary metabolites are also called as specialized metabolites or secondary products or natural products. These are organic compounds produced by bacteria, fungi, or plants which are not really directly involved in normal growth or development or reproduction of the organism. This is the reason why A, C, and D options are ruled out. Now, what is nicotine? The first one, it's a plant alkaloid found in the tobacco plant. You know, that's Nicotiana tabacum, which is an addictive substance for the central nervous system. It's a stimulant and it causes ganglionic stimulation in low doses or ganglionic blockages in high doses. And strychnine is a highly toxic, colorless, bitter, crystalline alkaloid which is used as a pesticide, particularly for killing small vertebrates such as birds and rodents. And the third one is caffeine, which is a central nervous system stimulant, and the world's most widely consumed psychoactive drug. Now, the next question relates with the chapter excretion and osmoregulation. The question is which of the following would help in prevention of diuresis? A. Reabsorption of Na plus and water from renal tubules due to aldosterone. B. Atrial natriuretic factor causes vasoconstriction. C. Decrease in secretion of renin by JG cells. And D. More water reabsorption due to undersecretion of ADH. And the correct answer is A. Friends, diuresis is increased urination and the physiological process that produces such an increase. So it involves extra urine production in the kidneys because the body's homeostatic maintenance of fluid balance is somewhere disturbed. Okay, now aldosterone ये जो hormone होता है, it is essential for the conservation of sodium in the kidneys, salivary glands, sweat glands, and gastrointestinal mucosa as well. And aldosterone plays a crucial role in homeostatic regulation of blood pressure as well as plasma sodium and potassium levels. Okay, it acts basically on the receptors in the DCT and the collecting ducts of the nephrons and influences the reabsorption of sodium and excretion of potassium into the tubular fluids. Okay, this is how it helps. Now, if this is dysregulated, that is, it doesn't function normally or properly, it is going to be causing problem and it contributes to development and progression of cardiovascular and kidney diseases. And also remember, friends, the aldosterone is having an antagonistic action to ANF, that is atrial natriuretic hormone, which is secreted by the heart. Question relates with the chapter Human Health and Diseases. You have to select the correct match. We have got two columns. Column 1 having phenylketonuria, and opposite to it has been written autosomal dominant trait. Second is sickle cell anemia. Opposite to it, the option given is autosomal recessive trait, chromosome number 11. Third is thalassemia, which is written to be X-linked. And fourth, hemophilia, the option given to it is Y-linked. The correct match obviously is B, or second one, that is sickle cell anemia, which is an autosomal recessive trait belonging to chromosome number 11. Now friends, what is phenylketonuria? Generally हम इसे लिखते हैं PKU. See, it is a rare genetic condition that causes an amino acid called as phenylalanine to build up in the body. Now, amino acids, you know, are the building blocks of protein. So is phenylalanine, and it is found in all proteins. Okay. Now, phenylalanine hydroxylase is an enzyme our body uses to convert this phenylalanine into tyrosine, and which our body needs to create neurotransmitters such as epinephrine, norepinephrine, and dopamine from tyrosine. But PKU is caused by a defect in the gene that helps create phenylalanine hydroxylase. So this enzyme goes missing in the body, and so they can't break down phenylalanine, and this causes a buildup of phenylalanine in the body. It is due to mutations in a gene called as PAH, which results in the low levels of phenylalanine hydroxylase. Okay, and it is autosomal recessive trait, means both the copies of the gene must be mutated for the condition to be developed. So the first option can't be a correct match. Now second obviously is correct. You know, sickle cell anemia is an inherited RBC disorder in which the RBCs do not carry enough oxygen because they become sickle shaped. Normally, the flexible round red blood cells move easily through the blood vessels. But in sickle cell anemia, they become like sickles or crescent moons, and they become rigid and sticky and stick to the small blood vessels. And this can slow down the blood flow, and as well as अगर blood flow slow down होता है तो but obvious oxygen का supply भी slow down होता है. And this is caused by mutation in the hemoglobin beta gene, which is found on chromosome number 11. So this is the correct match. Now let's know about thalassemia. There are two copies of hemoglobin alpha gene, HbA1 and HbA2, which encode an alpha chain, and both the genes are located on chromosome number 16. Now the hemoglobin beta chain, that is HBB, as we have already just mentioned it encodes the beta chain and it is located on chromosome number 11. In alpha thalassemia, there is deficient synthesis of alpha chains, beta mein beta chains. Okay, so it has got nothing to do with X chromosome. So this option is ruled out. Now the option 4, that is hemophilia, it is caused by mutation or change in one of the genes that provides instructions for making the clotting factor proteins needed to form a blood clot. And this change or mutation can prevent the clotting protein from working properly. or it may be missing altogether. And this is located on the X chromosome and not on the Y chromosome. So this option is also ruled out. The next question relates with the chapter organisms and environment, and the question is, which of the following is not an attribute of a population? A. Natality, B. Mortality, C. Species interaction, and D. Sex ratio. And the correct answer for this question is C. Species interaction. Because we all know natality is birth rate, mortality is death rate, sex ratio is the number of females per thousand males, all of which are the attributes of population. Species interaction certainly is not an interaction of the population. Friends, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you haven't done it. Thank you so much.